Welcome once again to Raw Boxing TV. I'm Ranger. I'd like to thank you for tuning in to watch this video. Today's topic is a topic that's been going around for a little bit now, a couple of years, since the new generation of ignorant boxing fans was born. This topic pretty much started. The topic of such and such ain't got no chin. It's a topic that back in them days where when boxing really existed, when boxing was picked up by any major newspaper, which today it's not the case. When boxing was followed by people who appreciated the sport and not follow a certain guideline or a certain comment made by any promotional companies. Back in those days, this type of comment never existed between a bunch of immature, irrelevant, and ignorant boxing fans. From time to time, I get, you know, the famous glass chin, can't take a punch. We've heard out of 10 comments, 9 of them is regarding either Rigondeaux, Gamboa, Lara, or forgot this other boxer's name. He's not Cuban. That they can't take a punch. They ain't got no chin. So today I'm going to be answering a couple of questions from my subscribers, and I'm going to be addressing some topics. Those of you that appreciate the videos, great, thank you. Those of you that are just here to hate, thank you as well. Most of you will make it. Most of you will also make it to the trash can, which today I sent 2 of them already. Well, anyways, let's get started. Since the fight was announced, well, actually, since Lara fought, and I told you comments will generate videos when it comes to me, depending on what comment and if I can smell that it's just a foolish kid or not. But since Angulo fought Lara, or vice versa, Lara suffered 2 knockdowns for the first time in his whole professional career and as an amateur. The comment continued. Well, now Lara ain't got no chin. Why? I ask people sometimes. Well, he was down twice versus Angulo. Well, Guillermo Rigondeaux ain't got no chin. Why? Well, he's been rocked a couple of times. Well, Gamboa ain't got no chin. Why? Well, he's been down a couple of times. But it's so curious that none of these boxers have never been knocked out. They've been rocked, but never knocked out. Never. Well, I did a little bit of digging. I'm sure I'm short on the list, but I'm gonna go ahead and say what's on my mind as we speak. And I try to come up with fighters that you guys have qualified as iron chins, fighters that can take a punch and come forward and give a punch. And I came up with a nice list. You know, I had Marco Antonio Barreras, Eric El Terrible Morales, I have El Finito Lopez, which is by far one of my favorite fighters of all time. I came up with Angulo, the legendary Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., which is the representative of Mexican boxing, if you ask me. I came up with El Maromero Páez. I came up with who else was I talking about? Ranger. Abner Mares could take a punch. You know, I came up with a list of a bunch of fighters: Morales, Barreras, Chavez Sr., El Finito Lopez, Abner Mares, Canelo himself. And I came to the realization that if Lara, Gamboa, and Rigondeaux ain't got no chin because they've been knocked down, then none of these fighters I just mentioned have a chin. Well, why? Barreras, he's been knocked down. He's been knocked out. Terrible Morales, he's been knocked down. He's also been knocked out. Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., he's been down. And he's been knocked out. Right? Abner Mares, the guy that you said that you guys used to claim he could put his head down, come forward, and take the punch and deliver it. He's been knocked out. Canelo Alvarez was hurt versus a small guy in the second round. Cotto's brother. So, you see, you really got to watch out how you just speak out of hate sometimes. Because you say nonsense stuff. Lara was hurt versus Angulo. First of all, let me explain to you. A fighter that has no chin, a glass jaw, or a glass chin is a fighter that gets hit and doesn't get up. But when you have a fighter like Lara that went down versus Angulo and got up and continued to pummel Angulo, I don't see where this topic even fits. When you have a fighter that gets hit, goes down, and gets back up, he can take a punch. Because we've already seen how he reacts when he's hurt. Right? He's able to get back up. He was able to take that punch, shake it off, and move forward. Now, when you get a fighter that gets hit and cannot get up, that's a fighter that took the punch and couldn't take it. Received the punch and couldn't take it. Couldn't take the after effect of it. His body could not recuperate. Right? I'll give you a good example. Right? A fighter that you guys claim can take a punch. He's a bulldog. He's a perro, and he comes forward. He's been knocked down. And he was knocked out versus Kirkland. But let me add something else. He also quit in a fight. He didn't quit against Canelo. He was getting hit versus Canelo. But he didn't quit. He quit versus Lara. You can say the thumb in the eye all you want to. Thumbless glove versus an eye that's swollen out. Now, I mean, if it makes you feel good, keep thinking that way, but reality is something else. He got forced into submission, right? And then Canelo took a fighter that's already been hurt, especially in the head area, and just went ahead and finished the work that someone else has started. You see, you cannot. Another thing I want to address is the topic of, well, such and such fought such and such, and he did this versus such and such. So when such and such fights the other dude, he said he should be able to just handle him pretty easy. That's not how this works. And I'm only talking to the people who don't know about boxing, that new breed of boxing fan. I ain't talking about to the people that actually know what I'm talking about. You see, I'll give you a great example. And there's many, but I'm gonna give you a recent one. You guys are claiming that Lara cannot win over over Canelo. That Canelo is gonna beat Lara. Maybe. It's boxing. But why? You guys are claiming that because Canelo pummeled Angulo and Angulo dropped Lara twice. Interesting. Well, what if I was to say, okay, well, I think Lara is going to school Canelo because Lara took Austin Trout, somebody who a lot of people claim, including myself, actually beat Canelo. Lara took him and took a shot out and hit Austin Trout, and Austin Trout was saved by the bell. Right? So if I was to say, Lara took Trout and actually won every single round, or maybe he lost one. I don't know what the judge's score card was, but and Austin Trout really beat Canelo, or let's put it in a way that you guys might accept a little better. Austin Trout you know, put up a heck of a fight versus Canelo, what would you guys say? Well, no, because styles make fight. It's the same thing I gotta tell you. Styles make fight. Just because somebody did something to somebody else don't mean it's gonna happen in the next fight. So, yeah. If Lara doesn't have a chin, then Angulo ain't got a chin, Canelo ain't got a chin, Chavez never had a chin, Morales never had a chin, Barrera's never had a chin, Pacquiao never had a chin before the fight versus Marquez. A bunch of people never had a chin. Watch what you're saying. Don't be so dumb. Period. I'm still working on the prediction video for this fight. In the meantime, drop your comments, subscribe. I'm out.